Game Awards, we're back, baby. Just hopped out the cryo chamber and got a full charge on the Tesla station we keep in the back. Let's go. We here at the Game Awards love celebrating games. Almost as much as we love Little Caesars, baby. Order a Little Caesars hot and ready pizza now and get a free delivery with 19 inches of venom right to your doorstep, whether you want it or not.
Yeah, but is it good though?
It is hot and it is ready, and we are just getting started. 2023, holy crap, this year was crazy. Coming off the back of COVID, where we had a whole slew of game delays, some of which probably could have used another, we had some of the most highly anticipated titles released for one of the most stacked years in gaming history. Nintendo dropped some heat this year. The most recent entry of the Pikmin series continues to be the only RTS played by more than 3 people other than a game that came out 13 years ago. Mario Wonder proved that 2D platformers aren't dead, they just have to be good for anyone to care. Even though Mario Kart 8 didn't come out this year, all the DLC tracks as of November have finally been released, and the game remains to be one of the most fun experiences on the Switch. Metroid Prime got a remaster somehow, which allowed people to play one of my favorite games of all time without the abysmal controls of the original. That's not the only old game that got brought back to life this year, though. Callisto Protocol showed us that Dead Space games are bad now, but then the Dead Space remake came out and showed us that Dead Space games are actually still good. Risk of Rain 2 Survivors of the Void came out on consoles a year and a half after the PC release, and it dropped alongside one of the best remakes in Risk of Rain Returns. They gave a lot of love to one of the best roguelikes that started it all, and it gives a lot of hope for the future of the franchise. Resident Evil 4 really made you feel like Leon the Sex Kennedy. It's kind of hard to believe that these two are even the same game with how much better the remake looks. And man, Capcom has been on an insane hot streak in the last few years. Everything they release is gold, and Street Fighter 6 was no exception, as it's one of the best fighting games ever made. You got Chun-Li's thighs, Cammy's ass, and Juri's feet. And I guess the gameplay's pretty good too. Fighting game players, you guys were eating pretty good this year, because not only did you get Street Fighter, but you also got Mortal Kombat 1. For all the transphobes out there, you guys got Hogwarts Legacy, Darkest Dungeon 2 if you're a masochist. Atomic Heart was good, but Russia has been doing a thing this year, so actually Atomic Heart bad. Remnant 2 was a sequel to a game that was kinda meh, but actually improved on its predecessor in every way. Everyone that loves Fallout got Fallout, but in space. And this time with pronouns. Liza pee-pee-poo-poos like a knockoff Bloodborne, but it turns out when you make a knockoff of a masterpiece, it's actually really good. Armored Core 6 was great, but it isn't Bloodborne 2, so L. Diablo 4 was good, I think. Everyone stopped playing it, but it was cool while it lasted. Star Wars Jedi Survivor is one of the only good things still being made from the Star Wars franchise. Honkai Star Rail drained everyone's wallets. Spider-Man 2 really made you feel like a schizo, because you had to play as 5 different characters. Cyberpunk 2077 got its DLC, Phantom Liberty. This DLC is the culmination of everything that the game should have been. I loved the game in its original state, but this DLC makes it better than I could have ever hoped for. I was worried that this DLC and its new ending were going to make the base game irrelevant, but at the end of the day, this is still Night City, and there are no happy endings here. The indie scene had some great hidden gems this year. Sea of Stars is the perfect game for every Chrono Trigger lover out there. Dredge is the perfect game for every old man stuck in a lighthouse. Hi-Fi Rush is probably the sleeper hit of the year with its fast-paced, rhythm-based gameplay and great soundtrack. Pizza Tower is a game where you play as a pizza chef named Peppino Spaghetti who has to stop his pizzeria from being destroyed by a pizza ray controlled by a talking pizza who lives at the top of a tower. This game showed us that if you have a guy on the soundtrack shredding on his electric guitar the whole time you play, it doesn't matter how ridiculous your concept for a game is or how ridiculously titled the song names are, it's gonna go hard. Alan Wake 2 took one of the most innovative approaches to storytelling and delivered it in one of the trippiest experiences we've ever seen in gaming. I knew nothing about this game before it came out, and I think I know even less now at the end of it all. In Final Fantasy XVI, I finished the tutorial and thought, that was more epic than most final bosses. This game gave me more holy shit moments than every other game I played this year combined. Somehow, just when you think they raised the bar to an impossible ceiling, the next fight you do smashes through that ceiling and leaves you awestruck. Tears of the Kingdom was so good it made Breath of the Wild look like a demo, but ultimately everything that made Breath of the Wild so great is still on full display here and more. Now there's another game I wanted to talk about, and I'm not seeing a lot of people mention it, so I'll be brave and say it for us all. Baldur's Gate 3 is a good game. I know. Am I a hero for saying it? I like to think I'm just a regular guy. Make my breakfast just like everyone else. Milk, cereal, then bowl. It's one of the best RPGs of the last decade, let alone this year. It made the last game made by the same team, which was one of the best games I've ever played, look like trash. There were some AAA stinkers this year. Golem, Redfall, Forspoken. The day before should have come out a few days after, because this shit sucks more than Dyson. But overall, this year was pretty amazing. Honestly, the only things holding this year back are no GTA 6, Silksong, Monster Hunter 6, no Metroid Prime 4 or Tekken 8, no Bloodborne 2. That's still happening, right? But we've been getting more information on some of those, and even after this awesome year of gaming, it's nice to be able to look to the future and still be excited about what's to come.